Welcome to EFT MBA Mastering Business Acumen with the help of EFT business experts. Learn the marketing, mindset, and skill set you need to create the EFT coaching practice of your dreams. Visit www.eftmba.com for more information. And now, here's the EFT training team that embodies the art and science of EFT. Alina Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. We are covering some really important topic for your building your practice, growing your practice. We're talking about how to get your work promoted by other people. And I'm joined by...
Me.
Yeah.
Me. Definitely me. Hi, this is Craig Weiner here. Great to join you.
Yeah. So sometimes as an entrepreneur, it can be exhausting because you're wearing so many hats. You might be a creative product producer. You are the CEO, the COO, the CFO of your company. Most of the time you're starting out, you're also your marketing department, your customer service officer, and much, much more. And having a successful solo business and EFT practice can be very demanding to wear all these hats. And we need to look at ways to reach out to audiences that have not already we haven't come into contact with through our well-established sales funnel, which you might be wondering, what is that? But that is something that we've covered before and we cover in our EFT MBA program. But basically, it's all the different ways that your clients are finding you, potential clients are finding you. And so one of the best ways, and we hear this, and it actually is substantiated by the research that we did. We sent out a survey to EFT coaches, and we did find that the number one way that people were marketing themselves was to referral and word of mouth, and that is a way that people can promote you. But there are other ways, and there are reasons why somebody would or would not promote you.
Well, you know what? I just want to stop for a second. Let's just talk about that for a second. Mm-hmm. People, clients, referrals, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know what? There are ways to be able to be in integrity and let people know, because their perception isn't always accurate, that you're accepting new clients.
Right.
A lot of times people, they haven't been able to get in to see you when they've wanted, and they're thinking, oh, my God, she's so busy, her practice is full. Completely, I can never get it, whatever. Whatever perception may or may not be accurate. So there are just ways that you can integrity and just let people know, or thank them when they refer somebody, or let them know, if you know anybody else that needs work with this area, or something like that, very gently. And you may find out surprisingly that, oh, I didn't know that you were taking new people. And meanwhile, you're going, oh my God, how could you not know that in your head?
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
What about someone that's just starting that has no clients or very few clients? That wouldn't necessarily be the impression they're leaving.
It's not, but I hadn't gotten to part B yet. That was the first part. The second part is, you might have ways of just saying, and either it might be at the bottom of your email, it might be on your forums, and, we graciously accept referrals, or ways that you can say that in your own wording that lets people know that you're accepting referrals, right? It's really that simple. You don't have to try to sell them. You don't have to try to say, do you know anybody who, et cetera. But when you do a good job, people are getting good results. You let them know that, somebody might even say, oh, my God, how can I thank you? That was great. You might say, well, anybody that that's needing work like this, I'm happy to accept referrals, and I love accepting referrals from people that I've already worked with because they understand what EFT is, et cetera. So finding different ways that you can express that just helps to support and promote referral-based practices. So there's your first collaboration for people that are promoting your work are your clients.
Yeah. So, and we'll get into the particulars of that. I wanted to step back to something that you said because we do wear multiple hats here on this show. We are trainers, we're mentors, and we coach EFT coaches on their business.
Right.
So back to my trainer hat, and a piece of ethics that people rarely talk about is if somebody sends you a referral, you are entering into a client-coach
confidentiality
agreement, even if they haven't signed the dotted line yet. So I never pick up the phone and call someone and say, thanks for referring so-and-so to me.
Absolutely.
So what you can say, and you'll get people that want to know, like, did my son call you? Because I told him he really needs to call you. And what you can kindly say is, thank you so much for believing in the work that I do. But it's because of client-coach confidentiality that I can't answer whether they did or not.
Right.
And that's a nice way of saying it.
And thank you so much for referring him. Really appreciate it. Yep. That's
okay. All right. So I just needed to cover that.
Good.
All right. I got just the other day, I said, Craig, this is a topic we haven't covered that I really want to talk about, because we have seen it in the survey that people do rely on this. We need to go into a little more depth about it. I think that day I got somebody on a social media site who said, can you please promote my work? On Messenger, just like, can you promote my work, instant message. And so
good for them for asking. And so that person perceives me as an influencer, right? Someone with a large audience, someone with a following, someone that they see as someone that's out there or that's perhaps going to bring them business. And I said, this is perfect for the show that we've got coming up. We get these requests all the time. And so I thought to myself, can I devise a checklist as to whether I would promote this person or not? And so that was really what I sat with, and then also looked at that list versus what I know to be true when people promote us. All right, so let's go through this. Let's go through this list. Okay.
All right, so one of the ways, so we have 5 here, and so one of the ways is that if the person perceives you to be the go-to person in the area that you specialize in. So a person, the influencer sees that, oh yeah, this is the person that I need to talk to when we're talking about EFT and romantic relationships. Or, I really want to promote your work because you are the go-to person when it comes to toe fungus and EFT. I'm making this up.
So I want to back up for a second to just clarify the focus of who we're speaking about. So if somebody is out there and they've got, because you better have a niche, right?
Right.
That's the first step.
Yep.
So let's just say you have the, you specialize in healing the emotional negative effects of toe fungus.
Right.
Okay. And you want to get out there and you want people to promote your business.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the person we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Good. And now they're looking out to go, who can I get to help to support and to refer and to help promote me, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Good. So now you're going to speak to the reasons that a person would do that for you.
Right.
Good. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if that wasn't clear.
It's okay.
That's why there's 2 of us, so you can hear it in different ways. Okay, so they perceive you to be the go-to person. So we are, this last month, we've just done we were just asked to do 3 different summits, right, online events. And people perceive us as the go-to people in working with certain things. So I work with women who have issues around relationship challenges, and so I got invited to an event that is specifically for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I am seen as the person that understands and can help to explain the science of tapping and trauma.
Right.
And so there were two summits and an interviewer that says, great, let's go ahead and do that, because they feel that I'm bringing something to the table for them that's going to enhance their reputation because they're affiliated with me.
Right.
Right? So they're doing a service for their listeners, for their people, for their clients, et cetera, for their peeps.
Right.
And they want to know that by bringing me in, that their people and they are going to benefit as a result of that interaction.
Right.
So I've got to be able to bring something to the table that they want, that they think is useful, helpful, et cetera, and usually it's something specific.
Right. Yep. Okay, another one that I have just been thinking about, why is it that people want to promote our work or say yes when we approach them about being an affiliate or a joint venture, or hey, can we do a guest blog on your site? They feel that we are high integrity or high quality. Yeah.
So make the distinction of what you're referring to as opposed to what we just talked about with.
So your area of specialization is they get it, they make that connection. Oh, this is a toenail fungus expert. Another reason is maybe they're not really interested so much, and we've seen this. They're not really interested so much in the topic.
Mm-hmm.
They've told us, we just like the quality of your work.
Got it. I've seen you around.
Yeah.
I've heard you before. I know you're associated with, and that you have a lot of integrity and presence, or whatever it is.
Yes.
But they feel inherently that, however they derive it and perceive it, that they can trust you.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And they get that on different levels, on different energetic, on how you promote yourself. Right? It's all a hologram, right, on multiple levels.
Right.
But they get the sense, if I bring this person on, they're not going to throw a big personal pitch where I didn't expect it. They're not going to go off topic and just go into a direction that I'm not comfortable going, right? So there's a sense of that you're workable, you have integrity, you're authentic, and your work has an elevated quality that they've sensed in some other way of having observed you in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a few of those recently where somebody has said, I just we have people in our circles that have talked about the quality of your work, and I really don't care what it is you promote. I'm like, wow, okay. So that's good, and that has taken a while. I mean, that's the kind of thing that takes a while to build.
It does.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay. It's like you're investing in your reputation by each of the things you do, the blog you write, the interview you do, all those things go into, your reputation portfolio.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. I'm going to use that again.
Yep.
Your reputation portfolio.
Okay. All right. So number 3 is that people will promote you and your work when they'd rather not work with that particular set of clients, or they can't work with that particular set of clients, such as location. So I get people contacting me all the time, daily, practically, saying, do you happen to know a solid practitioner who is in Vermont and in Brattleboro, Vermont? And I would say, yeah, I think I do. So they know that for themselves they want, and I get it from EFT coaches too, that just know that I have a big network, and they're looking for referrals because some people that reach them want to actually see someone face to face. And so absolutely that's another reason that you'll get people referring to you, oh, my cousin lives in Seattle. I don't care if you only work with women. You're doing EFT. I want you to work with my male cousin, right?
Or I love, the more that we see our profession starting to have niches and specialize and really have successful practices, as that starts to happen, they get very clear on who they work with and who they don't.
Right.
So online forums of somebody, my specialty is working with women and career change, et cetera, and I have somebody that's, needing help with physical pain. And, that's really not my thing, so I need somebody good online that can, really specializes and can focus on that. Who do you know that's good?
Right.
Right? So your niche, the more you develop your niche, especially now, it's so important. There are so many niches wide open, and even the niches that there are, a handful of people in, that's only a handful. So the more that you really specialize, the more that somebody can refer to you because they don't. That's not their specialty. They're looking for somebody that does, and that can be a great source of referral.
Right. Great, and also scope of practice issues.
Right.
So what do we mean by that, Craig?
So scope of practice may be that practitioners that are in integrity and get somebody that, they come in because of some physical pain, but then they didn't reveal on their form, and suddenly they find out that the person is dealing with issues having to do with being bipolar or very serious, they really have unresolved sexual trauma or things like that, and they're not a licensed mental health care provider.
Right.
And they realize, this is over my head, this I shouldn't be dealing with these aspects of, and I need somebody to refer to that is licensed in that arena.
Right.
And so if you become, for example, let's just say you're a mental health care provider, social worker, therapist, et cetera, and you specialize in those, promoting that to other coaches that saying, look, when you get in over your head,
this is, I'm here to help.
I'm like here to support you,
yep.
to refer back when we're done with this work. I understand what you're doing, and I can just do additional deeper work or other types of work, et cetera, and then refer you back. You want, and those kinds of relationships are invaluable.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Mutual appreciation society.
For sure. Okay, and number 2 is the law of reciprocal action.
Okay.
Which is simply stated is this idea that if someone is promoting me, I feel a sense of wanting to reciprocate in some way, and so I will promote them.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that all the time.
Sure, as long, can it go awry? Yes. One person respects one and the other doesn't the other. And, of course, those things happen. But what we're promoting is those laws of reciprocal action, that you're creating collaborations of mutual appreciation, mutual integrity, mutual respect,
mm-hmm.
in which absolutely,
mm-hmm.
sure. I mean, when, for example, whether it be a Yelp or a LinkedIn or whatever, and all of a sudden I get some glowing referral from somebody who I love, and I haven't got on there and done one of those in a while. The moment I get one of those, you know what I'm feeling.
Right.
Oh, of course, the moment I get some free time, I'm going to get on there and I'm going to write one back.
Right.
Right? So reaching out first, you can't do it with the expectation that because you do it, they're going to do it back. That'll get sticky and yucky and not good. But if you just put it out there freely and you create collaborations and you promote somebody, there is the tendency and the entropy for them to do it back.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
And refer back, et cetera. And I know out of sight, out of mind, in my chiropractic practice, if all of a sudden I had some orthopedist, physical therapist, massage therapist, whatever, acupuncturist, refer to me, and I hadn't been thinking about them lately. Mm-hmm. Right? For whatever reason, they just had gone out of my mind, and all of a sudden I got a referral. They are suddenly on my mind more.
Right.
And, I would never refer back because they referred.
No.
To make it equal or something like that. I would never refer back if I wasn't already somebody that supported and appreciated and loved their work, et cetera. But sometimes people just fall out of my mind sometimes because we haven't connected in quite a while.
Right.
So that reconnecting by referral is a great way to re-stimulate referrals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have one more?
We do.
Good.
It's the most important one in some aspects.
Okay.
And because of, we'll talk about why. But the number one reason is that they've met you in person.
Oh my God! Not online?
Wow! What a concept!
Do people still do that? I watch kids. They're next to each other, texting each other, and I don't know if they've met.
Well, let me tell you. The reason why that happens is because number 4, where we said someone feels that you're a person of high integrity and quality,
mm-hmm.
when somebody meets you in person, all the things that you have to overcome by doing your promoting and marketing exclusively online just goes out the window. Because there is a even if it's not stated, it is there that how do I know I can trust this person if I'm just seeing stuff about them online? And but when they meet you in person and you have some, regular old conversations about what you're doing and who you are and showing interest in who they are and what they're all about, they can that amygdala firing, slows down, and they listen and they connect. We are all about connecting. Yes, in person, more than any other way. So, all these things happen energetically, physiologically, neurologically, biochemically when we connect with people in person. So, a perfect example of this is last year we went to a conference. And as a lot of conferences go, there's a lot of valuable information in the conference. But there is also this party going on outside of the conference, right? So in the hallways, our friend Rick likes to say, if you want to change the world, throw a better party. And sometimes it is the party in the hallways.
Sometimes it's in the lounge.
In the lounge, and in the lobby of the hotel, which is exactly where this little, whatever we had, like 10 people connecting, having fun and chatting in a break of the conference that we were at last year. That we met someone who connected with us, lovely person, and so Craig got invited to a wonderful conference just by that connection alone.
Well, here's what I'll say: yes, and.
Yes, and.
I'll say yes, and there's also that. What did I call it? Their reputation portfolio. Because they go together, right?
Right.
So you've heard about somebody, maybe you heard them on a show like this, then you met them in person, and that just nailed it. It's like, okay, great. When I have the opportunity, I'm going to invite that person. Right. So all those things built up. Right now I'm doing the interviews for the World Matrix Reimprinting Summit. And so I'm getting to interview some amazing people. And some of these people I've just read or seen online, et cetera, but then meeting them on Skype and interviewing, all of a sudden there's this whole depth of appreciation, of connection, of potential future collaborations that I'm now thinking of that I never thought of before until there was that deeper connection that happened.
Right.
So, the EFT practitioner that's just sitting by on the computer, find ways. There's values of getting out at gatherings and at connections and at conferences for creating business opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science, but we're just here to remind you that one-on-one connection always has that fruitful potential for referral and collaboration to help grow your business.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's why we encourage live events. So we have a gathering that's held every March where that happens a lot. We do money workshops. We've got one coming up in Chicago. And advanced courses where these are for people that have already taken some courses and they really do connect with other people there. And who knows the kind of joint ventures that can come from that. Connections, associations, just remembering that someone lives on the other side of the state in this one town, and then you hear of somebody in need in that town. So it happens much more organically and faster if you get outside of just your virtual world.
All right.
Yeah.
And how good does it, let's just bottom line, how good does it feel on different levels to have many different sources of referral and people supporting you?
Fantastic.
It feels fabulous.
Yeah, fantastic.
Emotionally, psychically, financially, on all different levels. We all love to be appreciated. We all love to be, the source of people's respect.
Right.
So it really nurtures us on a lot of different levels to create that interrelationship, that inter-business relationship of mutual support and referral basis and collaboration like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I know I like it.
Well, we are done. Amazing. But
Wow.
we like to keep these programs short and sweet, with just right to the point. And if you have when we talk about any of these things, like asking someone in your related field who doesn't necessarily do EFT, but they address your niche market. They're working with a pain point for a particular group that you know that's what you do, and that you specialize in, and you're thinking about reaching out. Oh, how can I do a guest blog post on your blog? And you're feeling nervous. I mean, all of these things, if they've brought any fears inside of you,
what should you do?
Let me tell you. We EFT coaches have to walk our talk, and so we really encourage you to keep tapping, because the only way that you grow, expand, and become more of who you really are and your expanded self and changing the world, maybe one person at a time, doesn't matter the size, it's the impact, then you really do need to be tapping. And not just tapping on yourself, although that's good, but really tapping with the aid of someone's guidance. So that's why we set up the EFT MBA program.
Yep, because we take all these things in more depth there.
Yep.
Right, and we are starting. One thing I'll just say is there's a 6-month program. It's May and November every year. And so we're just about to start the new one for May. We'll be back again in November. And it's just amazing. We're just having more and more people continuing to work with us as they deepen the work and take it further and further, and even repeat the course. It's just beautiful to watch tapping coaches' development, business development, because they come more fully into themselves as they start to really hone their skills and their business starts to grow. It's beautiful to watch. I love doing it.
Yep.
Okay,
so that's it. And we will be back here in a couple of weeks with a new show. If you want to apply for the EFT MBA program, just go to EFTMBA.com, fill out your application, and Craig will sit down and go over the particular aspects of the whole enchilada, what you get for 6 months. It's quite a meaty, sink your teeth into, leave prepared kind of course. So, okay.
Okay, thank you for joining us on this episode of the EFT MBA program. We appreciate you.
You have been listening to EFT MBA with Elena Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner. To get your free report on the 5 secrets to create a rockin' EFT practice and to learn more about the EFT MBA program, visit www.EFTMBA.com.